Trump pawn, not porn, Trump pawn shops and egg prices. Those are two indicators of where we are with this economy based on the new data that just came out with pawn shop loans are up now across the board in thousands of pawn
Those are up than gas hikes. Damn.
shops as people go in to get $200 and $300 on average loans just
Damn.
to make ends meet in this economy. And what
This is what is happening in this economy. No way. This is bad.
are they doing in terms of interest rates? They're paying up to 300% a year on interest rates just to make ends meet. Donald Trump's economy, based on the numbers we just saw, with the worst price increase in more than 4 years, the worst consumer confidence numbers since
This is bad. The worst ever. Worst ever. Damn. The inflation, price hike, everything. Trump economy gets brutal wake up call.
1980, a GDP showing our economic engine is running in reverse, wages down and flat. You put all that together, and what do you get? You get a suffering in America that this administration doesn't recognize. And they think they're going to wallpaper over by having one of their propagandists like Kush Desai, a press secretary, or
Okay. Is someone like that name? I don't
or
know.
to send out one of their economic advisors, Kevin Hassett, to
Okay.
tell America that, yes, everything is up. The world is on fire. We're in the middle of oil and natural gas sticker shock, but eggs are cheaper. Oh, I'm
Oh, who cares? Who cares about eggs, man?
not kidding. It was so bad that even the sort of foxy reporter on the other side was like, that's the best you got? Egg prices are down when everything else is on fire? I'm Michael Popak. You're on the Midas
This is bad. This is bad.
Touch Network. I'm putting on my Wall Street hat. I worked on Wall Street for a number of years. I know how brokers and traders think. I know how financial services markets think. And I'm
Okay.
going to give you my best perspective here. Top line, here's the numbers. We've got the consumer confidence index dropped 6 points. It's
Oh my God.
steepest
Oh my God. This is bad.
drop since 1980.
I know it.
With inflation and Iran war and gas prices on everybody's mind. Gas prices since February
This is bad. This is bad.
28th,
Bad.
when we declared war on Iran, has gone up 21%. That's effectively a 21% tax.
Yes, it is. It is a 21% taxes, or full over 21% are full taxes. This is what happening.
That Donald Trump has put in a regressive way against people who can least afford it at the gas pump. And fuel literally fuels our economy. If you can't afford to make ends meet, then you got to go take a pawn shop loan out in order to do it, right?
This is what we are talking about. This is sponsor loans are 300% interest.
The little underbelly of American society. I'm not blaming the people that are forced to do it, but there are predatory loaning practices going on there.
So much, so
If
much.
that's what you need to do, it is effectively a 21% tax on you because you have to come up with 21% more money to pay for your gas. And
This is very bad. You gotta pay 21% more. You somehow you have to have it to pay it. Somehow you have to have it to do this.
the fuel line between you and the economy just got cut because you're not going to spend as much in disposable income because you don't have as much disposable income. And that's a driver for our economy, right? Consumerism. Who can afford to be a consumer? You're just trying to make ends meet.
Same is happening. Just trying to make the ends meet. End by end. This is all right now is happening. Everything is so
So consumer confidence, which measures how the person
ha hap
feels the
happy.
economy is doing,
Yes,
how they're experiencing
yes.
the economy, is at its worst numbers ever. In fact, when people were polled, they, like economists, believe the same thing, that prices are going to rise even beyond the 3.3% number that just got posted in
Where?
price increases
Okay.
to we think it's going to be 4.8% in the next year.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if you think the March numbers are bad,
This is, you see, US consumer sentiment dives to a record low in April amid Iran war. You mean what it is? Record low. World, whole time, every time record low. Lowest.
Okay. Wait till you see the April numbers
Oh my God.
because Donald Trump's effectively destruction of the energy markets is not going to be solved overnight, even by a ceasefire,
No, no, no,
if
no.
even a ceasefire was possible. As
This is true. It is not going to solve overnight. This is some big kind of mess right here. Not going to solve in a little few days. It takes months, months of months.
I said 3 weeks ago, this war is not going to end when Donald Trump says it's going to end. It's going to end when the Iranians say it's going to
Yes,
end.
Iran has
And
this
they're not going to let
lead.
it end until they get a toll of a couple of $1 million on every freighter of oil or gas.
Yes, it's $2 million decided right now, but it can be high. It can be high. Iran is potentially earning $100 billion plus in a year from only Strait of Hormuz business, from only there.
That passes through the Strait of Hormuz. And instead of 135 or 140 freighters passing through the Strait of Hormuz in and out, keeping the oil markets and natural gas markets lubricated, you know how many went out yesterday? Six.
Yeah, yeah.
Six.
I know.
And they paid a toll, more money to Iran in hard dollars. Okay?
Hard dollar.
That Rubik Cube of the Hormuz Strait can't be solved
No.
with chest beating and threats and genocidal rantings.
Never is going to solve like that. This is not how economy works. A geopolitical specific things work. This is not how it is.
It's geopolitical, economic negotiations
I
and
said it.
diplomacy that will
I
maybe
said
get it
same.
open again. And even if it gets open again now, all of the players, all of the stakeholders in and around the Strait of Hormuz have already taken steps to protect themselves. See, oil and gas doesn't move through the strait without insurance companies like Lloyd's of London ensuring the safe passage of that material.
Yes. This is what it is. If you are not from the business background or you do not have the knowledge of businesses, they have insurance for that. If something happens to that ship and their imports, exports, items, goods are lost, they have insurance for it. It is what it is.
At a cost unless freighters and freight companies are willing to actually navigate through that without the risk that they're going to be seized or blown up. And that's not easily resolved over a ceasefire that seems to be further away, than closer to us now. And the impact now, you think 21% gas price increase is bad? Wait till you see another 30% or
Oh my God, 21% and then another 30% on it. It would be 51%. Damn, this bad.
40% as gas ticks up to $6 a gallon. Now, what's the best that Donald Trump can say about an economy who's being wrecked right now with this backhanded gas tax on Americans? You know, we're not
$6 is too much. Too much.
getting any of the checks. Remember those 1776 checks we were going to get? Nobody
Yes. 70, 76. They get checks. I remember it.
got a check from this government. We're just getting taxed to death. This is what cushed any of the checks. Remember those 1776 checks we were going to get? Nobody got a check from this government. We're just getting taxed to death. This is what Kush Desai, whoever that is, a press secretary, had to say
Who's this guy? Is a press secretary. Oh, damn, never heard about him. Let's see.
about these terrible, terrible numbers, and then we'll get to egg prices. President Trump has always been clear about short-term disruptions as a result of Operation Epic Fury,
Epic.
disruptions that the administration has been diligently working to mitigate. We're not feeling it.
Damn, this is bad.
Although gas and energy prices are seeing volatility, prices of eggs and beef and prescription drugs are stable or falling ever so slightly. Don't try to sell me on, you can't afford your health care, you can't afford your groceries, you can't afford to feed or clothe your family. Just eat more eggs.
This is horrible. An egg is less. Oof, we cannot even able to meet the ends, and they are saying egg is less pricey right now.
As the administration ensures the free flow of energy through the Strait of Hormuz, how is that being ensured?
Nobody knows.
The American economy remains on a solid trajectory. Yeah, bullshit. Let's
Bullshit.
go to Kevin Hassett, who came in second to be the Federal Reserve chair for Donald Trump,
Okay.
showing up on MAGA television, financial
Oh,
news, to try to say, yeah, things are terrible, but egg prices are down. See how that went. Even on the show itself. Play the clip.
okay.
3.3% rise in consumer prices in the last 12 months. That's a fairly sharp increase. However, I'm sure you're going to find some comfort in the core rate of inflation, which went up only 0.2% in March.
Right.
So you can take that as a good sign, right?
Right. Well, one of the things that would have been a warning sign
This is horrible. Just watch this one clip. This is horrible.
would have been that what we believe is a temporary energy disruption would feed through to core, driving up prices of everything. And I think that, in fact, the 0.2% core number for the month that you mentioned is actually rounded up to 0.2, which is pretty unusual. It was 0.19 something. And the thing that, when I went through the details, that really I found gratifying for White House staff who've been working so hard on affordability is that there are so many price reductions that are directly related to things that we've been working on, policies we've been pursuing. So, for example, year over year, egg prices are down
He said it. He literally said it. Year on year egg prices. Dude.
44%. You and I remember when I first came in here, one of the first jobs we had was controlling the avian flu. Well, we controlled the avian flu so much that there are hens all over the place laying eggs at a record rate, with egg prices about the lowest they've ever been. Beef prices dropped a lot in this report, and don't forget that because beef prices were high, that we changed our trade policy.
But you know what? Now egg prices are low, so I can eat eggs in anything every day, lunch, breakfast, everything.
With Argentina to allow more Argentine beef in, and that we saw a surge in Argentine beef in the month, and a big reduction in beef prices. I'll just give one more. I promise not to filibuster.
Okay. Go on.
Ticket prices are down about 18%, and you remember that we had a case against Ticketmaster and Live Nation for price fixing on those sporting events, and those things are way down too. So I think our policies on affordability.
This is not what you're trying to say even what are you saying, man? This is not
Are starting to really reap big benefits.
No, that was a bit of a filibuster, but
it was.
yes, you were. Whilst you were talking, we had a graphic on the screen. Put it up again, please, which
I'll
showed the
try to look
rise in
over it.
all kinds. Have a look at it. Put it up, please.
Yeah.
All kinds of items which have gone up very significantly in the last year. Okay, now that's the last year. They're up, and those prices are reflecting.
this is what they are talking about. The inflation on this all things, overall fuel oil, motor fuel, gasoline, electricity, utility. And he's just talking about egg prices are being low.
In the way people think about inflation. I don't think you've won the war against inflation at this point.
That's exactly right.
I'm Michael Popak, and I got some big news for our audience.
Okay.
Most of you know me as the co-founder of Midas Touch's Legal AF
Yes.
and the Legal AF YouTube channel,
Yes.
or as a 35-year national trial lawyer. Now
Now what we're saying?
building a what we started together on Legal AF, I've launched a new law firm, the
Oh.
Popak Firm, dedicated to obtaining justice through compassionate and zealous legal representation. At the Popak Firm, we are focused on obtaining justice for those who have been injured or damaged by a life-altering event by securing the highest dollar recovery.
This is good thing. This is good.
I've been tirelessly fighting for justice for the last 35 years, so my own law firm organically building on my Legal AF work just feels right. And I've handpicked a team of top-tier trial fighters and settlement experts throughout all 50 states known as big auto injury attorneys who have the know-how to beat heartless insurance companies,
This is very good thing. Say halva español.
corporations, government entities, and their attorneys. Big Auto's attorneys working with my firm are rock stars in their respective states and collectively responsible for billions of dollars in recoveries. So if you or a loved one have been on the wrong side of a catastrophic auto, motor vehicle, rideshare, or truck accident, suffered a personal injury, or been the victim of medical malpractice, employment harassment or discrimination, or suffered a violation of your civil and constitutional.
This is what it is, guys. If you are any of these things suffering from, you can probably go to the Popak firm
rights, then contact the Popok firm today at 1-877-POPOK-AF or by visiting my website at www.thepopokfirm.com and fill out a free case evaluation form. And if we determine that you have a case and you sign with us, we don't get paid unless you do.
This is good thing. This is the very good dedication you have.
The Popok firm, fighting for your justice every step of the way. Trump pawn and egg prices. That's what we're down to here. And when you plug in all of this economic data, consumer confidence down,
Yes.
right direction, wrong direction, America feeling if the country's in the right direction or wrong direction.
I mean, we are in the wrong direction. I don't want to hurt anyone, but truth is truth. Okay, truth is truth.
Under this presidency, wrong direction. Favorability for Donald Trump down in the 30s.
30s.
Consumer price index, consumer prices up 3.3%, projected to be 4 and 5%. Wages flat, job creation almost non-existent. They were all excited because, oh, we made 170,000 jobs last month, but
No, this is not what it is, how it works.
the month before they had to revise it downward to almost zero. This economy has made under Donald Trump effectively 0 jobs in 6 months.
You understand what the real problem is here? They are firing and they are hiring. And you just look at data and be like, wow, this is not, it is how it works.
Whereas Joe Biden and his economy, remember when he was president?
Okay.
400,000 jobs month after month for every year of his administration. Every year. 4 years. Every month.
Oh, damn.
We're talking 5 million jobs a year, 20 million jobs.
In 4
Against
years.
them celebrating over, oh, we had a great month, 170,000 jobs. I wasn't a math major, but I know that I know the difference between 20 million and 175,000.
Yeah,
And I know you do too.
yes, yes.
So it's a terrible thing that you won't hear on network news or coming out of the mouth of White House people about pawn shops, 300% yearly loans being used by people. And they're
This is just like exploiting people's for like this kind of reasons that they have to just meet their ends.
they're pawning not just the wealthy who are pawning watches and other things of value, but guns. Well, there goes the Second Amendment, guns and the rest just to make ends meet.
Yes.
One guy interviewed said, yeah, I had to pawn my gun because I needed to pay a vet bill for a dog or a medical bill for a loved one or put food on a table. Because the average loan for pawn shops right now is between $200 and $300. That's how people are swallowing their dignity, walking into a pawn shop and walking out with cash that they can't get from the
I
Trump.
mean, I'm very sad looking my country like this situation. This is bad what is happening, and they have to just sell their dignity to ends meet. And
Economy. And I don't just blame Trump, I blame all the Trump enablers.
yes,
The Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick, the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent,
yes,
the head of the trade representative
yes,
in Jamie Greer,
yes, he is.
the Russ Vogt, the Office of Management and Budget. These are the people that are screwing America every day. Every day.
This every day. True, true, true.
Every day we are, and now it's up to like $3,000 to $4,000 less a year in our pocketbooks because of Donald Trump's policies. Plain and simple. I'm not
Very simple. Very simple it is. This is very easy mathematics.
talking about the mega wealthy. I'm not talking to millionaires, billionaires, and trillionaires. I'm talking about the salt of the earth, the everyday American,
Everyday American,
and how
yes.
they're suffering in this economy. And no amount of propaganda coming out of the mouth of some, Treasury Secretary, Press Secretary, or Carolyn Levitt, or any of the economic advisors, just focus on egg prices.
Yes.
Is going to help matters. Right? We got a pent up demand. You plug in all these data points, it all points to a tidal wave election against Donald Trump at the midterms.
And you know what? Just remember the egg prices are low, all time low.
And all it takes is for us to vote. and no amount of changes of the rules of mail-in balloting, if that's even a thing, or voter ID, or bring your great-grandmother, or bring your family Bible, or bring some papers to show you're a citizen is going to stop people from voting.
Yes, this is what it is, guys. No, nothing.
And if we have to stand in a line for 14 hours in the heat of the day,
We do
or
it.
whatever, wherever we live,
Yes.
without food and water,
Yes.
and stand on our head,
Yes.
and as my late mother would say, spit wooden nickels in order to vote, we're going to do it.
Yes, we are going to do it. This is your right. Never put your rights on the bed.
What do you think tens of millions of people in the streets against the Trump administration means? It's not about voting. It's about voter turnout.
Yes, it is about it. It is about it, really.
And there's going to be a voter turnout like no one's ever seen, supported by Legal AF and the Midas Touch Network. Till my next report, see you on Saturday for Legal AF, the podcast. I'm Michael Popak.
This is what it is, guys.
Can't get your fill of Legal AF?
How you get it? Let me know in the comment section.